Fuck yeah. Make sure I got my keys. All right. I'm going wherever I want to go. That's where I'm going. It's actually wherever she wants to go. Okay, we don't film Lois going to the bathroom. I know some of you, there she is. Come on, buddy. It's nice and quiet out tonight. A little on the foggy side. I'll be at the Comedy Store Saturday night. 12:15 on the button. You can barely see the moon up there. Good evening. Yeah, it's pretty quiet, but it's Tuesday night. The freaks don't really come out Tuesday night. They're a little more subdued. They wait till at least Wednesday night. And then the animals come out to play. Yes, I guess it's Wednesday night here too. Uh-oh, Lois is going to the bathroom right now. Well, let me get my bag. Right. Lois is the best. She sends me little bat signals when she has to go OUT. But I don't mind when it's quiet out here. But you still have to have your head on a swivel. Because there are still some undesigned, like this guy right here. This fucking guy, you won't be able to see him. Maybe we'll walk over that way. I'll embrace the danger. Yeah, there's two guys right there. Can't really see him, but this guy has set up a fucking home shack. This fucking place is unbelievable, man. Where are my tax dollars going, Gavin Newsom? Let's walk by this guy. He's literally got a fire going. I love comedy. So, I don't, hey, what's up? Go down the alley. This alley usually isn't that this quiet. She'd try and protect me. I don't know what she could do at this juncture, but you know, she's protected me in the past. And even when I had the German Shepherd who was sick, Lois would protect the German Shepherd. Like, if there was a dog that Lois didn't like, she'd stand in between Annie and the other dog. So Lois is small but mighty. I mean, she would try. I don't think she could do too much. But she's fearless. Just like her dad. Yeah, hit the like and subscribe button. I mean, I don't know if she could take down a pit bull, but she'd earn it. Oh, she's gonna shake it loose. Yeah, welcome to the jungle, man. You couldn't find a more accurate song than that. I mean, hopefully we never find out about that. Yeah, Lois gets along with all kinds of dogs. She's actually really good with handicapped dogs. Like, she senses this dog needs lovin's. Like, I was at the dog park once, and there was an English bulldog who couldn't use its back legs and had diapers on, and no other dog would play with this dog, and Lois would like go up to it and like lick it and like be cool to it. Pretty much. I mean, I'm not sure where Axel got off the bus. I mean, assuming most of that video was shot on Sunset. Yeah, Lois doesn't really bark anymore. I think because of her cough. The cough has made it almost impossible for her to bark. So there really is a silver lining in it and everything. Yeah, I mean, I would guess that video was I mean, that really, you could tell the main part of the video where they're playing was probably at some sound studio off of Sunset or Hollywood. But those lyrics, they really hit home. If you got the money, honey, we got your disease. And that's true. Because if you have a lot of money, you can find any disease you want pretty easily. Hold on, now watch Lois. I can do this with no cars. Hey, 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 hey. Okay, Lois. If she's got some pep in her step. She knows exactly where to go. Oh. Hey. Come on, buddy. Whoa. Let's get the Earl sign on here. Yeah, there we go. Fuck yeah. Welcome. Well, isn't that great? And that guy probably got no money, honey. That's welcome to Hollywood, Mr. Homeless Man. Think about that. But that song is so well written. It's so true. I'm going to assume a homeless guy in 1988 is probably no longer with us. But who knows, man? You know, Boone Shakalaka was, he lived quite a long time, and then he just disappeared, and now none of us really think he's alive anymore. We'll go to the side angle. You guys like that side angle, I think. So, yeah. So, I have to do some maintenance right now. The update with the Comedy Store is they fired the booker. And they replaced her. So, it's a unfortunate circumstance. But, you know, like I say, it's a cold fucking business. What's up, Moses? Yeah, they fired, no. Adam Egan works at the mothership. My good and dear friend Emily worked at the Comedy Store. And, you know, what are you going to do? I had dinner with her tonight. It will end up being okay for her. By the end of the week, she's going to have 5 job offers. Already has 2. Wasn't even let loose 2 days ago, and so she'll be all right. Uh, a what happened to her? Um, wait, I'm sorry. Oh, was there a valid reason? I don't know. I didn't ask her. No, I mean she was very good at her job. Tommy is, I think he's in Costa Rica or something. Tommy in a weird way came from money, so he's well off. In terms of who replaced her, a manager who's been there forever. Um, I mean, I think a few people were brought in probably about a year ago and told to stay loose, get ready. But Emily did such a good job at the Netflix festival last year. It would have been a disaster if they fired her after the festival. So, I don't know. Um, you know, it's, but she's young and she'll, like I said, I believe she's going to the Moon Tower Comedy Festival, and she will have 5 job offers before Sunday. She already has 2. So she'll be all right. Comedy is a cutthroat business, and there's not a lot of good people, unfortunately. It's a very unfair business, and, that's unfortunately, you either do it or you don't. I could quit comedy tonight. People might be sad for about 2 minutes, and then they would be like, hey, that's just one less comic we got to deal with. As well liked as I am in the world of comedy, that is just the way it is, unfortunately. Do I know Tommy well? No, a lady. It's a female manager. So a woman replaced a woman. I mean, comedy's very much like pro wrestling, I would say. You know, pro wrestling. I mean, I heard a story. I won't say the names, and I hate people who say I'm not going to say the names, but I can't because I can't. But there was a wrestler who literally was buried in the company because he fucked a girl that someone else wanted to fuck, and this someone else was a pretty big star, and so the big star was like, "Fuck this guy." Oh, thank you, Double A. I mean, for 56, I look fabulous. Pretty good skin for 56. Not too much of a double chin. Well, I mean, the one great thing about comedy, and it's probably the bad thing too, is, oh, thank you, cool dude. You can make it on your own these days. You get a popular YouTube channel, or you get popular in some other way on social media. Sky's the limit. But the bad thing is that you have to maintain it then, because the second you drop, people drop you. So, good genetics, I guess. And I stay out of the sun for the most part. And, I don't drink alcohol. I was at Jax's bar tonight in Studio City watching the premiere of The Valley Part 2. Or Season 2, not Part 2. So I took a rare night off of stand-up. But I got to see Emily and some other very good friends of mine, so it was a fun night. And now tomorrow's back to the grindstone. And, see what happens. Every day is. Do you like the movie Tremors? You know, I saw it once or twice. I saw it in theaters. Um, you know, it was okay. Like, I didn't like, if it were on right now, I'd probably watch a few minutes of it, but um, I don't know. I'm a big Fred Ward fan, so rest in peace, Fred Ward. Um, rest in peace, Nicky Cat. Reba killed in it. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I remember seeing it in theaters, and you know, it's been in pretty good rotation on cable and whatnot. So, um, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it was okay. Not one of my favorite movies, but I didn't hate it either. There's another thing I do, intermittent. A little spritz of water. Shout out to the LA Kings for winning 6-5 in Seattle tonight. Without Dowdy, without Kopitar, without Byfield after the vicious cross-check. How the hell they gave Darnell Nurse one game for that is unbelievable to me. Do you think Kevin Hart is funny? He's all right. You spending any time? No, I'm an AEW guy. I did see Predator. I saw Predator opening night at the Abco Theater in Westwood. And I think most of you guys know this in here, but my sister was Carl Weathers' assistant during that time of him filming Predator, so I wanted to see my sister's name in the credits. Oilers will be pumping the Kings. I don't know about that, bro. That Oiler defense is bad. And without Ekblad the first round, I mean, they've got the two best players in the world in Draisaitl and McDavid, but they need help. You just can't do it. This is a different Kings team this year. And they have home ice, and they're the best team in the league at home. So, of course, any team with McDavid has a chance, but I seen every single movie from 1983 to 89. Oh, that's cool. Well, her name wasn't in the credits. They only said Schwarzenegger's assistant's name, I believe. So Carl Weathers didn't get, my sister's name is Virginia Skakel. So that was unfortunate. Movies are weird like that. Like my friend worked on Godzilla. She was an assistant, and she got in the credits. But by the way, I taped Son of Godzilla. I haven't seen that movie in a hot minute. It's every bit as good as I remember it to be. Yeah, I mean, especially now that, I thought, Byfield didn't play tonight. So I thought that, Darnell Nurse would get 2 to 3 games. They gave him 1, so he'll be in the lineup game 1. And, I think the Kings, I mean, it's tough because it's the playoffs, and, you don't, individual revenges, you got to kind of put on the back burner because you can't give Edmonton power plays. I don't care if they're shorthanded or not, man. That power play is fucking deadly because you've also got Hyman and Nugent Hopkins in the team. So, unfortunately, Retribution will have to wait for next year. But it is an added caveat to what's already going to be a very contentious series. I didn't see Corolla and Dolph Lundgren. Oh, I think it was pretty bad. Like, look at it again. Now, if he just did the first part where he kind of ragdolled him in the ice. He cross-checked his head in the ice. Like, I mean, that's unbelievable. You would say it wasn't that bad. You know, it'd be one thing if he was standing up, then, you know, your neck is going to have a little bit of pull. And I've seen people saying it wasn't that hard. His face was against the ice. So even a light cross check, there's nowhere for that pressure to go, or there's nowhere for that pressure to release. So I would have given him 2 to 3 games myself. Well, it's been kind of done on the DL, the Booker at the Comedy Store. So, yeah, I don't think my sister wants to be on my podcast. She knows it. So, oh man, that's not a little shot. Because Byfield's about 6'4". Are you an Oilers fan, Double A? And I don't care if you are or not, but you sound like you're an Oilers fan. And the proof that it wasn't a little shot was he didn't play the rest of the game. He didn't play tonight, and he's probably not playing Thursday. You know, you don't miss 3 games with a little shot. But see, there you go. I knew you were an Oilers fan. And I would say the same thing, Double A, if Mikey Anderson did that to Hyman. So I don't think how she did book Sam Tripoli. You know, now if Byfield gets up and, you know, 30 seconds later is back on the ice playing on the power play, I'm like, okay, he was embellishing. But that's just, you know, and I love rough hockey. But, you know, this is not the first time Nurse has done that to the Kings. You know, 2 years ago, he headbutted Deneau. So what makes a good comedian? You know, yeah, but Tripoli got booked more than I did. What makes a good comedian is connecting with the audience. Like, I'm a good comic because I usually connect with the crowd, and here I am in my mid-50s, and I'm, you know, I was, if you look at, well, it's probably gone because it's just my Instagram story, but like, if you look, if you saw my story where I was with those 3 Mexican kids, you know, they were 21, early 20s, not, I think the oldest one was like 23. They loved me. They're like, can we take a picture with you? You were our favorite. And here I am, 34 years older than those guys. And I was the oldest guy in the lineup last Saturday night. And, you know, it's connecting with the crowd. So, you know, that's what makes a good comic. A lot of comics don't connect with the crowd because they have no, like, not social skills, but you gotta sell yourself on stage. You gotta act like everything you're saying is the word of God, and so people trust that they establish a rapport with you, or you establish a rapport with them. So some are just pure roasters. Well, but that's hold on. Or what do you think about World Trade Center Building 7 that fell down? It's been in this. So I mean, you know, listen. I'm going to disappoint you, conspiracy theorist. I don't think the towers were imploded by us. I don't think Building 7 was blown up by George Bush or Dick Cheney. You know, honestly, I think 9/11 pretty much happened. You know, we're a hated country, like, to be honest with you. And in terms of the buildings going down, people are like, you know, they shouldn't have gone down. I don't think any building's ever been made with the mechanisms in place to stop 2 fully fueled 747s. So, you know, I think basically those buildings dropping were like an earthquake. And Building 7, you know, I don't believe in that shit. Well, I think there are some conspiracies that, you know, kind of go, that makes sense. Some are just pure roasters. We're going all over the map tonight. Well, I mean, you look at I mean, Jeff Ross, I would say, is a roaster, not a comic. Um, Hinchcliffe is, I guess you'd say he's part both. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm more roast battle myself. I mean, I don't think it's a fact, Moses. I don't know where you're getting that from. And, I'm not saying I'm right. Um, I don't think we blew up a building to go to invade Iraq. Like, we done some shady shit, don't get me wrong. Like I'm a fan of the Mossad and how they operate. Um, so, yeah, but that's not a fact. I mean, that's your opinion. Like, I believe that the force of what I'll ask you guys, I don't know, what was each trade center, 100 floors or something? Or, whatever they were, 80-floor buildings, two 80-floor buildings dropping, that's going to cause a disturbance in the surrounding buildings' foundations. Um, well, here's the crazy thing is on the Boston flight, two Los Angeles Kings scouts were on the plane. Um, Mark Babus and Ace Bailey. And now, if you believe urban legend, they say Ace Bailey got up and got some shots in because he was a fucking tough hockey player. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but what conspiracies do I think are true? Yeah, I was asleep when it happened. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I mean, that was the first plane going to the first tower at like 9:20, and I remember my sister calling me, going, "Turn on the TV, they're attacking." And I was living in a high-rise building at the time on the top floor, so I mean, they weren't going to hit my building, but um, I mean, what conspiracies do I think might, 50-50, I still don't think Oswald acted alone. Um, I believe RFK, that something just doesn't hit me right with that one. The Secret Service just lets a guy walk in through the kitchen and shoot the president. I mean, that just doesn't seem possible. Um, well, who also was supposed to be on one of those flights was Bruce Boudreau, coach of the Capitals, and I think he was coach of the LA Kings farm team, the Manchester Monarchs. So he was supposed to be on a plane with those guys out of Boston, and he either overslept or changed his flight at the last second, and that's pretty fucking crazy. Um, I mean, I remember calling my ex-girlfriend Ann because she worked in the tallest high-rise in Los Angeles at the time, in the financial district. And I said, "Hey," and we weren't really getting along at that time, but I was like, "Hey, man, just please be careful today." Um, well, I mean, the problem with JFK was that, there's so fucking many people who hated that guy. It's the Russians, the mob, the Puerto Ricans, um, people inside his own government. It could be, you know, any number of scenarios, or the Russians and the Cubans, um, combining forces, and I mean, there's a reason Jack Ruby shot him. Like, he did not want him talking. So, you know, you could have typed that in all caps, Michael. That's allowed. Hi-Fi Protege is allowed all caps. Peter Chicken Man Brennan is allowed all caps. And you know, any Jeff Ross insults can be done in all caps. Um, Yeah, as much as I hate Jeff Ross, I can't blame him for 9/11. Like, if I could, I would, to be frank. But, you know, I can't blame Jeff for all my problems. He's still a horrible person, don't get me wrong, but, you know, unfortunately, I can't blame him for everything. I've tried. Believe me, I've tried. But, and a lot of people ask me, do you think you and Jeff will bury the hatchet one day? Never. Like I said, I'm like the Mossad. I don't forgive and I don't forget. And I will always get my revenge. Trust me on that one. Um, my number one enemy before Jeff Ross. It was a roast battle comic. I won't even say his name on the podcast. He's such a piece of shit. And, just bad person. And if I mentioned his name on the podcast, or not, this isn't a podcast, but like on this, he would consider Earl still cares about me. I really don't. I can absolutely say me and Jeff will never be friends again. People have tried for years. I've even been offered to go to dinner with him with an intermediary. I'm like, no. Because if I went to dinner with this person and Jeff would play the victim. That's what he does. He'd be like, Earl, I love you, man. You're great. You killed in a roast battle. Then why did I only get one season? Why did I go 4-1 on TV and I never saw the show again? But yeah, 3 people I beat got all 3 seasons. That makes 0 sense. And he lied to me about some things that I know he lied about. So, I don't think he's crazy. He's a sociopath. He doesn't care about burning a bridge with a 56-year-old comic. And that's fine. I get it. That's the business. But, because he's done that before. Like, he reached out to another mutual friend of ours and said, hey, can you ask Earl why he hates me so much? Jeff knows why I don't like him. He knows. And I don't care about the allegations. I really don't. You either believe him or you believe the girl. So if he did it, fuck him. If he didn't, I'll give Jeff my lawyer who, due to my family's political clout or whatever you want to call it, I have access to the best lawyers on planet Earth. I would give Jeff my lawyer. Not my lawyer, but a libel and slander guy who lives to get into the fucking mud. He's like Bosch. So I don't care about that shit. I care about getting fucked over on 2 TV shows and taking off the roast of my best friend in comedy, Adam Egan. So, I mean, honestly, I would say in a weird way he's jealous of me. And it's like he's much more known than I am. But, he was always passive aggressive with me. Give you a perfect example of that, and I don't think I've ever told this little story before, and if I have, there's some new people in here. Is the first night of taping, I, of course, had the best battle of the night with my good friend Tom Ballard. I mean, I was the star of night one. Not star, but, I was definitely the best part. And so I guess the battles ended too fast, so they needed some filler. So there was 5 battles that night, so all 10 battlers on stage. And Jeff is going to like each one of us, maybe skipping one, but so I was the last one. And Jeff goes, Earl, what do you think of my outfit? And he had this ridiculous outfit on. The pants were too tight. You could see his tits. His shirt was so tight. And he had a hat that looked like an unrolled rubber on his head. So I said, well, your shirt's kind of gay, but that hat makes you look like a maggot. Replace F with M. And I probably got the biggest applause I've ever gotten in my life. So afterwards in the green room, all these Comedy Central executives are talking to me. And they're basically going, who are you? We want to work with you or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So Jeff waddles by and says in front of everyone, hey, next time I give you a line, try and think of something funnier. And he like walked off. And all the executives look at me and they said, we thought it was funny. But that's Jeff in a nutshell. Here I am, the first time I'm around industry that could help me or that is showing any kind of fucking interest in me. And Jeff couldn't even let me have those 2 minutes in front of those guys. He had to like peacock me in front of them. That didn't work, but you know, that's Jeff in a nutshell. So, yeah, I never forget. I'm like the Mossad, man. I never forgive. I never forget. Well, I mean, and the funny thing is that show got to Montreal in part because of me. So, like, give me my fucking 2 minutes of whatever with these guys. Yeah, 100% of that. So that the people, I think people think I'm doing a work and it's like pro wrestling to me. It ain't pro wrestling. I hate that fucking guy. But he's protected in the business, so I just kind of have to keep my mouth shut and just, you know, move on and take it. And in his case, and once again, he doesn't care. He just picked the wrong guy to fuck over because I don't want anything from him. I don't need anything from him. So I can be honest. So, and people all the time ask me, is it awkward when you guys are in the same room together? Not for me, because I've never said anything I don't mean. I don't know, Night Moose. I really don't. He's been around forever. Like, he's been a working comic for 30 years. So, it's just one of those things that, he's protected. Nah, I'm not going to invest that kind of time. And it's just like, he's just really insecure, I think. I remember when he did my podcast when we were getting along. I mean, there was a point where we kind of, we're the same age, basically. I think he's a couple of years older, where we got along relatively. And so he does the podcast. It wasn't a good interview because he was just fucking lazy. He didn't want to, like, the guy's been around. So I thought this guy's going to have some great stories about the New York comedy scene. And he gave me the bare minimum, which is what he does in general. And so I'm still trying to make him look good. So I go online. I pick this nice picture of him where, he looked, as good as he could look. And he calls me up and goes, hey, can you change the picture? I look fat in the picture. I'm like, come on, Jeff. I'm not a fucking magician. Like, let's be real. You look like shit. I didn't say that to him, but like, come on. Well, no, not for me, Jenna. Because there's really nothing that he could do to make it right. Like, because Roast Battle will never be on TV again. And even if it was, I wouldn't want to be on it. Historical Roast, I was supposed to be on that show. And then him and his fucking sociopath manager, they fucked me on that show. So what can you do to make up for that? And the Roast of Adam at the Comedy Store was really a one-time thing. It was only going to happen once. And it was just for his friends. There was maybe less than 100 people in the fucking room. So the fact that you're so insecure about a few allegations jokes, it's like, fuck off, man. No, of course not. Oh, we're just chilling, some dude talking about I don't know if he saw me as a threat. Funny bumbleclot. But that's also, it's a great insight as to why he doesn't have long-term success of any shows. Like, look at Roast Battle. Roast Battle should have lasted as long as Yo Mama. Yo Mama, I think, went, 13 seasons? Wild and Out went, I think, like, close to 30 seasons. Roast Battle limped to 3 in America, and then they did another 2 in the UK, hosted by the guy I beat. And I gave Jeff in Comedy Central the best fucking idea. I said, listen, some people don't think I beat Jimmy Carr. So how about the first segment of the UK Roast Battle? I come out and now, yes, I'm being self-serving, but this is good TV. I come out in an American flag and me and Jimmy Carr battle again, a rematch. And how many battles do you know of from the UK show? 0. Um, yeah. I mean, he deep down, he's got to know any girl who fucks him is not thinking of him. They are thinking of anybody. Pinhead from Hellraiser. Um, I mean, yeah, I just, it's like cheating, I mean, I've been cheated on and I've cheated. So, and I cheated a fair amount, unfortunately, but then I got cheated on and then I understood how shitty it is. So one day, because people are like, well, dude, you got to karma will get them. Karma doesn't mean shit to me. It really doesn't, because I don't have a hand in that karma. Now, I got someone fired off of a TV show. That I feel good about. Because what they did and what they are, I feel very good about that. Yeah. Well, someone talked to me. I mean, someone brought it up, Kip. It's not like I started this stream. Hey, I want to talk about Jeff. I think Moses asked me why I hate him so much. And 30 minutes later, well, no, I think karma makes sense, but we won't get into that, Michael. I don't want to blow my cover. I can't say. Let's just say someone who deserved it. And I take amazing pride in that. So, no, I like Moses. Moses and me are cool. Oh, I thought you meant Brian Moses. Well, my problem is I answer things, I don't just give you one-word answers. What decade was what? If my dad draws breath. Well, I don't know what happened to your dad, some dude, so I can't give you an answer to that question. My dad died a very slow and painful death, and he literally gave so much money to the Catholic Church, he built 3 individual churches, 1 in Miami and 2 out here. And so, like, when people ask me if I believe in God or whatever, it's like, if there was a God, my dad would not have died how he died, given what he gave to the church. This decade, actually, within the last 10 years. Michael. Is it Michael or Macau? I'm assuming it's Michael. I mean, I do think, but sometimes no. I mean, look at Hugh Hefner. When you read or when you watch some of those Playboy documentaries and you see what a scumbag Hugh Hefner was with all the sexual assaults that happened at the Playboy Mansion, nothing bad happened to Hugh Hefner. Do I have any resentments still after my parents died? I mean, no, because, they're both kind of responsible for their own deaths. I mean, Dad lived a full life. My dad was not cheated, and he lived to 74, which to me is young. I mean, not young, but, it's not like ancient. But, you can't, live like my dad did, drinking like he did. He quit cold turkey 20 years before he died, but, in those first 54 years, like, he went hard in the paint. I mean, when your drinking partner is Harry Nielsen, you're a drinker. And my mom smoked, 2-3 packs a day. I mean, it's uncalculable how many cigarettes she smoked. So I can't really get too mad that she died of cancer. Like, it's her fault. She, and she never went to doctors. So, like, I don't know if I would say she'd still be alive today. I mean, she'd be pretty old if she was, but, I'm almost glad they died 2 months apart because they were just meant to be together. Yeah, I mean, the church is very, and I remember like hours before my dad died, we were all in the hospital. We're taking turns, and then we'll go for a walk outside or whatever. And the priest came in to like hit him up for fucking money. Like, and my dad couldn't talk at the time. It was like, I told him, get the fuck out of here. And he looked at me like, huh? Did you get disciplined growing up? More my brothers did than I did. But I was a pretty good kid, so I didn't really get disciplined all that much. I don't know much about Soder or his dad. Oh, I didn't see that. I'm not aware of that one. That might have been a little before my time, Moses. We'll go about another 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. And then I'm going to take Lois for her last walk of the evening. So get your questions ready. Just all right. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and none of them are in show business. So my sister's a mother of 3 beautiful kids and a housewife. My other sister is same thing, housewife. My my oldest brother is a freelance writer, and my other oldest brother is he's like the Big Lebowski in Hawaii. Oh, thank you. Yes. What are you going to watch it on? Is Roller Coaster on, Amazon or something? I'm going to watch a few more episodes of Bosch season 2. It's very good. So you must have nieces and nephews. I have 4 nieces and 1 nephew. So. Did you ever try to bring something up in the family and get scapegoated? I don't know what you mean by that. Could you say you're writer, brother? Oh, he just like writes in like Surfer magazine, and like I don't know where a lot of his works are published, but I can find out. He is very proficient. He's very deep. We're like the opposite of each other. But, we all love each other. We don't talk a lot just because, it's fucking 1:03 in the morning for me, and I'm still relatively awake. I can guarantee you my other 4 siblings are asleep. Yeah, I just watched the first episode of Mobland. I mean, I'm having a little trouble seeing Pierce Brosnan as a mob boss, but I do like Tom Hardy in it. You look like Mark Ruffalo. I've heard that before. I've heard Phil Hartman in terms of the sound more than the look. And Adam Baldwin in My Bodyguard. I looked just like that when I was a kid. Good for you, some dude. I woke up at 6:30 p.m. today, just going to stay up 2 days. Fuck yeah, party, baby. So, I'm a weird-looking guy. My mom was really pretty. She was a model when she was a teen, and then my dad was kind of a rugged-looking guy. They all do. All my second oldest sister, she's very funny. My brother in Hawaii, he's really funny. So, I've not seen Broken Mirror yet. I got to catch up on Kill Tony first. No, I'm just kidding. I get a lot of I sound like Phil Hartman. So, and I also not now, but I used to look a little bit like Springsteen when he, was back in the 80s, like born in the USA era, I had that same hair and similar build. But I love Bosch. I am a big Bosch fan because I love me some Titus Welliver. Right now I'm on season 2, episode 6, and I just love it. And then there's one more season of Bosch, I think, Bosch Legacy. So, I don't know why. I didn't know You know, the last season or two of Bosch wasn't like heavily promoted, so I didn't even know there was a new season. So, oh, that's funny. A lot of my family was from Greenwich, Connecticut. Um, yes, Phil Hartman does not do movies anymore. Maybe Weekend at Bernie's if they ever remake it. Hey, hey, they do a sequel to the Star Trek episode. Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. You talking about the Mirrors thing on Netflix? Yeah, I know nothing of that show, but I love me some Titus Welliver as Bosch. Um, yeah, you're gonna need more than a Ouija board, Holmes. Um, were you ever into sci-fi shows? I mean, I don't know what giant Johnny Sacco and his flying giant robot would be considered. It's almost live action anime. I don't know if that would be considered science fiction um, in terms of science fiction. Not really. I mean, I liked monster movies. She had a little more than crazy eyes. Um, Oh, I didn't know that. Hi-Fi Protege. I love Titus Welliver. I first kind of, I'd seen his face in some things and didn't really like pay attention to as to who he was or whatever. But I'm a big Sons of Anarchy guy, as you know, and he was the gun runner Jimmy O in the season 3 of the when they went to Ireland. And when he got killed, he just looked at Tommy Flanagan and he goes, in the worst Irish accent, "Take care of our girls. I." um, but I just love Bosch. I love the first season with Jason Gedrick as the bad guy. They always have a good bad guy. And that's key, too. It's like wrestling. You gotta have a good bad guy. You gotta have a good guy. And Bosch is like almost like a bad guy you kind of root for. Almost like a Dirty Harry vibe to him, but minus the shooting. Henry Rollins was great in season 2 of Sons of Anarchy as the white supremacist, and also great with is it Adam Arkin? I think Adam Arkin is the main white supremacist. And I was told that Adam Arkin has like a severe stutter, but he doesn't stutter when he says his line. It's kind of like Mel Tillis. Like Mel Tillis would only stutter when he wasn't singing. Yeah, Marilyn Manson was his name, and not Darby. I forget his name, but yeah, he was very good as the white supremacist. The great Mitch Pileggi from X Files was an awesome white supremacist. Darby. Um, yeah, I know a guy who did that with Debbie Harry. Had Debbie Harry sign his chest, and then he got it autographed. 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. So hit the like and subscribe button, pretty please. That's all right. You guys, I mean, I don't. Thank you, Moses. I appreciate that. Someone gave me I think a $5 super thanks. I don't get very many super thanks, but if you can't give me the money, honey, check out some of the new comedy shorts I've put out. That helps me too. So, are you a big fan of 80s horror films? I like My Bloody Valentine, the original one. I like the early Freddy Krueger movies before they made him a cartoon character. Uh, I mean, they still might make it. I mean, Kurt Sutter's last few things outside of Sons and the Mayans have not done well. So I have a feeling he would go back to that pie if given the opportunity by FX. I still wish he would show the original pilot of Sons of Anarchy, where you had Scott Glenn in the Clay Morrow part, and Emilio Rivera, who was Marcus Alvarez, the leader of the Mayans. He was initially a son in the pilot. So you like Flash Gordon with Sam Jones? Not really. Um, I mean, I think the first Nightmare on Elm Street was so fucking scary. I mean, I remember um, just the commercials were scary for it. And then the second one was kind of weird. It kind of had like a gay, like innuendo to it. And then the third one was okay. And then I think when they started injecting too much humor into it, like he's doing the one-liners, like "stick around." Um, I don't know. Tony Todd. I saw Tony Todd once at a 7-Eleven on Sunset and in between Fairfax and La Brea, and it was like at 2 or 3 in the morning. And he's in line, and he kind of looked back at me, and I'm like, "Hey, man, you play a great asshole." And he looks at me and goes, "I'm actually pretty nice." So rest in peace, Tony Todd, one of the great character actors. Um, oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know. That first Nightmare on Elm Street, it was just scary. There really wasn't a. I mean, I guess you could say Friday the 13th was ahead of it, but like, I mean, just Robert Englund was so fucking scary looking. Oh, that's cool, Nasty Neil. Yeah, he was very nice. He's a big guy. And I think he felt me kind of staring at him, so he just turned around. I'm like, "Hey, man, you play." I think I said you play a great dick, and that's when he's like, "I'm actually pretty nice." So yeah, Clive Barker, horror legend. I mean, to me, like a horror movie almost wasn't necessarily an action movie. Was Escape from New York. I love me some John Carpenter. Um, I mean, They Live, I guess, would be considered an action movie, but like a little bit of horror involved. Um, yeah, I mean, most remakes are um, not good. The RoboCop remake was horrible. The Bad News Bears remake was horrible. So we'll go 2 more minutes, guys. And now I hear through the grapevine for years they wanted to remake um, Porky's. You can't remake Porky's, man. But I think a remake that could work if you switched it up, because it wasn't that big of a movie, so a lot of people probably would not even know. It's like the Inglorious Bastards. That was basically a TV movie. Um, is The Idolmaker, which The Idolmaker was about a guy who had all the talent, but he didn't have the look. So he would create these pop stars like Fabian and so I think you could, and at the end of the movie, both pop stars he creates, they leave him. And so I love the final scene of the movie is he's like at some shitty dive bar singing his own songs. And I think you could do that with comedy. You could have a guy who's super funny, but he's not really attractive. So he creates these like Matt Rife type superstars. And then at the end of the movie, they leave him. And so he's at an open mic doing his own jokes, killing. Um, I don't think you could do a remake of Fast Times. It's just, that movie was just pure gold. What do you think of Jim Jungle Cat Johnson and Ralph Big Cat Wilson? Those dudes are fags. Like, you couldn't say that now. Have you seen Hellraiser? I haven't, I've seen bits and pieces of Hellraiser. I've never, I think, sat down and watched it straight through. One that I hoped would get a little bit more of a run was Dr. Giggles. I always thought that was a pretty funny movie. And one time I'm at the market right down the street, and I saw Larry Drake, who was in Law and Order. He played Dr. Giggles. I'm like, "Hey, I love Dr. Giggles, man." We were right in line next to each other. He just looks at me and goes, he stayed in character. Um, I mean, I'm not sure why Dr. Giggles didn't do well. It just, I mean, I thought the premise was pretty funny. But, that genre was probably getting a little overrun. You had Nightmare on Elm Street, you had Hellraiser, you had Freddy Krueger, and then you had like crossover, Jason meets Freddy and whatnot. Yeah, check out Dr. Giggles. I mean, listen, let me, I have this open. Let's give you a synopsis of Dr. Giggles. I have to be my own. The site can't be reached. Well, there you go. Well, here we go. I mean, here's who was in it. Larry Drake is Dr. Evan Rendell, Dr. Giggles, Holly Marie Combs, Cliff DeYoung, who was in a lot of things in the 80s. And then, I mean, no one really, not a great cast. Let's see, Dr. Giggles, let's go to the Wikipedia page. Dr. Giggles is a 1992 American slasher film directed by Manny Coto, starring Larry Drake, the eponymous Dr. Giggles, and Holly Marie Combs. The film co-stars Cliff DeYoung and Glenn Young. It's based on the comic book series of the same name, published by Dark Horse Comics. So, I mean, that's too long of a description. Variety called it a wildly uneven horror film and said the film focuses too much on cheap laughs. The screenplay is stitched together from variations on cliches used by the medical community. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was a little better than that. Joke will be on the Kippo. Chicken of the Sea. What up? Yeah. No, I mean that's pretty much. Let me go to the Dr. Giggles IMDb page. Maybe I always like someone always famous gets their first roles in a film like Dr. Giggles where they played the waiter or whatever. I think Brad Pitt's first gig was in, and I love this movie, the Charlie Sheen movie No Man's Land, where he played like a waiter. All right, let's see if anyone famous. Dougie Doug, I guess. I mean, he had a decent career in the music world. No one really. Let's get to the uncredited people. Ted Pfeiffer. Yeah, no one really big was in Dr. Giggles, so there you go. All right, you guys. We're going to call it a day. That's a wrap, as they say in the movie business. I went to grade school with Gig Young's daughter. Oh, yes. AC/DC, what up, buddy? Thank you, Kip Smith, for the moderation. I did not see House of a Thousand Corpses. So, you guys, I feel bad. I don't want to end the stream because then you guys can't talk about what you're talking about, but I have to. Because I have to catch up with Bosch. What up, Shandy Girl? We're just ending the stream. Yeah, some people, it's weird, say they don't get the alerts that I'm on. I'm not sure what that means, but good night, Hi-Fi Protege. Thank you for everything you did today. Earl Skakel. Did you see the King Kong ride in LA Universal? I don't believe I did. I haven't been to Universal in a very long time. All right, you guys. We'll stream tomorrow. Earl Skakel, over and out.